There are those who say college football has the longest off-season. Those who work in college football will tell you there is no off-season. Whatever the case, for fans, the season's on as the Badgers open up Friday night under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium against the Western Michigan Broncos. We'll get a recap of the fall camp, which included a couple of weeks in Platteville. We'll sit down with quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, strength and conditioning coordinator Brady Collins, and we'll have our first chat of the season with head coach Luke Fickell. Coming up on this week's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Number one thing, discipline, all right? And it's all over the place.
You need to be able to snap your eyes, but not turn your shoulders. Get your hips flexed tight to the fight. Good job, Thomas. Keep on going, keep on going!
I want to make sure that we're throwing our eyes across to a play side number.
Gotta explode out! Hell yeah!
We have named Tyler Van Dyke our starter, and as Fick says, we kind of see it as a 1A, 1B type situation right now as opposed to a 1 and a 2. That's how well Braden has done here in camp, but as of right now, Tyler Van Dyke is our starter.
Those 2 weeks in Platteville were long, but I mean they were well needed for this team to get us focused in on the season and everyone getting on the same page for this goal this season.
The whole idea of going to Platteville is just to get the team all together in one spot and just obviously bond a lot, and I think it's good just to all the guys get a little bit closer, and you talk to people you usually don't, and so it's just a good way to work on the bond as a team.
They still come out here ready to compete, ready to play hard. You might be sore, tired. Everyone is. We're in our third week now, so that's a given. But you can't jump too forward into the season already. We got to stay present and finish what we got here.
Set the standard. Set the standard. Let's go.
Ricardo Holman from one end of the yard to the other. Touchdown, Wisconsin, as the Badgers are back in the fight. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Shows Malusi, 89 yards. And it's picked off by Hunter Waller. There is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors building Wisconsin together. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling, but to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
It's always a very long off season for fans, right? But the games will finally begin for the Wisconsin Badgers on Friday night at Camp Randall Stadium. Wisconsin against the Western Michigan Broncos out of the Mid-American Conference. It's year number 2 here for head coach Luke Fickell, and he's not the wrestling coach, but he, as you know, he loves the sport. And you got those guys are keeping you in shape, right? Coach Bono and Coach Reeder.
Yeah, Coach Reeder more so keeps the two of us in shape. But yeah, it's when you're in camp time, you don't get to spend a whole lot of time with that, and you get off a different routine. But it's nice to have some guys around that maybe are a little bit younger and keep that energy and keep you motivated in different ways other than just the football field.
Yeah, Coach Reeder strikes me as a guy on a golf course. He doesn't need a cart. He'll just sprint from shot to shot, right?
Yeah, and the way he hits the ball, he kind of needs to keep up with the rest of them. But we won't go there. No, they're great guys, and I think the great thing about being here is just having that kind of that bond and that camaraderie with the other coaches and things like that. It goes a long way. I know that being at a place before that didn't have wrestling, it's nice to be around it.
Finally, a game week here for your guys, but let's review camp. 2 weeks this year in Platteville, so you were able to be there a little bit longer. Was it everything that you wanted it to be?
Well, we'll tell you after we, see how the performance looks. But it was 13 days in Platteville. We were very fortunate to get some great weather. Had a couple hot days early, and then really got some good weather. But the things that you can do outside of even the football field, as much time as you have, the focus that you have with guys, I think it's so critical. These teams nowadays, not that it's a turnover every year, but the opportunity to spend that amount of time with guys and even new guys, and those guys, amongst your team, maybe there's only 6 or 7 transfer guys, but all of which have a role and a bigger role than probably what we're used to. So this time out there, football-wise, is great, but also with the other things it allows you to do. I think we got the most out of it. Again, I'll tell you as we see us continue to play.
I was at a gathering recently, and a longtime Badger fan asked me, "What do you think?" And I gave a long, rambling answer, as I often do. And then I finally caught myself and said, "I don't know." As a head coach or as an assistant coach, how many times in your career have you broke camp and go, "Yep, I feel like I know what we've got here," and that turned out to be true?
Well, I usually don't have that mindset like we need so much more. And to be honest, last year I thought that we were in a better place than we actually were. So it kind of takes me back to where I've always kind of been, and recognizing and seeing some things that we have and what we've grown to be, but still worrying. Okay, now where do we find ways to get better? And and right now, to be honest with you, I feel really good, about the high-end guys. I feel really good about our ones in a lot of ways. But, your depth and the things that you're able to do and what we like to say, those 1Bs, and how do we get those 2s to be 1Bs and the guys you can count on. I know we need to be able to play this year with a good number of, I say 60, 65 guys when you count the special teams and things in there. And that, to me, is where we've got to continue to grow. And, every year is a new year, but I think over the last 3 or 4 with, the changes of, obviously being in a new program last year, but also, when you got new quarterbacks and when you've got some of these transfers that play a bigger role than maybe have in the first 15, 20 years of my career, I think it leaves a lot to say. We gotta see this thing kind of play out in the first 2 games.
That's where every coach talks about chemistry, talks about culture. And I even noticed that last year, Luke, where you've got guys like Daryl Peterson, Ricardo Hallman becoming close friends with Will Pauling and Quincy Burrows. That probably doesn't happen in every program. But all of that stuff, maybe it's more challenging now because of the nature of roster turnover. But it seems like you have guys who kind of get it here, don't you?
Well, I would say that one of the big fortunate things that we have here is the type of kids. And I mean, to add guys like that and their ability to interact, and the human element still always is a factor. But when you have higher end guys, when you have guys that have a better understanding of what it is that you want and what the team value really is, it gives you a greater opportunity to bring new guys, and it gives you a greater opportunity to trust and believe that as you mix these guys together, it's going to work. And I think that's where I feel really good about is our ability, whether we're bringing some guys in this year or last year, it has not been an issue with the locker room. I think that those guys have all kind of formed together how we're going to play, and the high end of what we got to be able to do is still where we got to go. But it gives us a starting point that's really, really good.
You mentioned a couple of minutes ago 1A, 1B. I remember asking you about a depth chart, trying to figure out what you could find in the spring of 23, and that was how you put it. You didn't say ones and twos, and I bring that up because there's this old line that I think you guys are proving to be not accurate. As if you have two quarterbacks, do you really have one? And watching camp, I think you got two. Tyler Van Dyke is one right now, 1A, but Braden Locke's gotten better too, hasn't he?
He has, and I'll be honest with you, I've always said, look, we don't want to be in this boat where each and every year we feel like we've got to go find a starter or at least somebody to compete for the starting position. And I think we're in a spot now in that room where we have the future of what we need. And we're always going to work to get better. We're always going to find ways to continue to compete. But what Braden has done through camp and through spring has really won me over, won Coach Longo, I think, in the entire team in the program. And so he's done a phenomenal job. And I think the ability for Tyler to come in and compete has made us, all those guys better, us better as well. But I really do feel like we're in a position where no matter what the situation, we've got a 1A and 1B at that spot, and no matter what, that gives you some, the ability to kind of sleep at night and to think that, okay, no matter what situations are going to come up, we've got some answers for things.
All right, we'll take a break. When we continue, we'll check in with quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. We'll also visit with Brady Collins, strength and conditioning coordinator for Wisconsin football. All that coming up as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Well, we talked about position groups, running back room, so on and so forth, linebackers room, a lot of talent. Quarterback room has a lot of talent as well. And one of the new faces in the Badger program joins us now, Tyler Van Dyke. One of the new faces, but a veteran quarterback. So in this world, Tyler, that we're in with transfers and opportunities, obviously, for you at Wisconsin, what was it like for you, because you'd been in Miami for a while, when you first walked on campus in the facility, just trying to figure out how do I get from point A to point B? What was those first few days like for you, just trying to get to know everybody and know where everything is?
Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling. I mean, you're at a place for 4 years, and then you're at a new place, trying to figure out where everything is, meet all the coaches, meet all the new guys in the team. So, the transfer portal is crazy, but I'm glad it worked out for me here, and just excited to roll this season.
Take us back through not just the winter conditioning, but spring ball for you, your own progression from when it started to when spring ball came to an end. It seems like you came a pretty long way in just understanding all the concepts here offensively.
Yeah, no doubt. This is my fourth OC, so I've had a good history of learning offenses pretty quick, and obviously it takes a little bit of time to, get those full reps in, full speed reps with this offense. And once I got that, after a few practices, felt really good, really comfortable with the offense, and just took off from there. So feel like I'm in a really good spot right now with the offense, and ready to lead this team.
Tell us about the talent. Looks like you have got a fair amount around you, in the running back room, obviously, the receivers with each day, even beyond spring, summer, all that. You feeling a little bit better and better about the group that you have and the talent that you have to throw to or hand the ball to?
Yeah, we have a bunch of talent. I'll start with the receivers. I mean, we have a good room there, a lot of depth. Obviously, you got guys like Will Pong, Bryson Green, and that list can go on and on. So really excited about that room. Running backs, I mean, we have two 6-year guys and Ches Malusi and Tyler Walker, and then obviously you got some young guys in there too, Jackson Aker, Cade Yakimelli, and then the list goes on and on with those young freshmen coming in too. So yeah, very excited with the talent around me.
As someone who's been around here a while, I've always thought some of the best Wisconsin teams are the ones that people aren't talking about going in. You just hinted at that. I mean, you know who everybody talks about in the Big Ten. That kind of fuels the fire, though, doesn't it? A little bit, saying, "Hey, we're over here." I mean, that's in some ways it might be annoying, but in other ways, like, okay, we'll show you. Is there something about that that's an incentive to show people what they might be missing?
Yeah, obviously you want the accolades in the beginning of the year, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You could start with all those accolades and end up not playing well or not finishing well and not getting them, or you can start without them and then obviously play well and get them at the end, and that's what we feel like we're at right now. So, yeah, we're going to come in firing this season. We have a huge chip on our shoulder, and we're ready to roll.
What's the best part about being here so far for you, Tyler, about being in Madison, being a Wisconsin Badger? What's been the best part?
It feels like home to me. I'm from Connecticut, so it's kind of the same weather-wise, and you get these nice rural areas with the city. So yeah, and the culture's great here. Love the guys on the team, love connecting with them, and the stadium is also awesome as well. So I'm excited to play here at Camp Randall.
So when you're away from football, when you're away from the conditioning, trying to enjoy the Madison summers, what's fun for you? What do you do to get away from it all?
I'm a big golfer, so yeah, I've played a lot of courses around here this summer. So yeah, when I'm not in the facility doing what I have to do or working out and whatnot, I'm always pretty much on the golf course. So.
Were you surprised when I grew up in Southern Ohio, so it's not like I was in Miami for 3 or 4 years. But when I came to Wisconsin, and it's more so now than ever, I was stunned at the number of really good golf courses in this area. Did that catch you off guard a little bit, too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't really know much about Wisconsin besides Whistling Straits and Milwaukee, Madison. So, yeah, learning about all those courses. I mean, you got Erin Hills and Sam Valley and a bunch of courses up here. So, played a few of them, and yeah, it was really fun playing them.
Final thought here as we get back to football. You've gone through, all the winter conditioning, spring, summer, fall camp, all that. Do you, as much as you've probably focused on day to day, try to be better on the practice field today than yesterday, do you envision what it's like at Camp Randall, any game, and obviously with the schedule you guys have, what it's going to be like for you coming out of that tunnel wearing number 10?
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be an exciting feeling. Obviously, this is my 5th year, so, I've felt that kind of feeling before, but this place is a little bit different, so I'm excited for it. Played in some really good atmospheres in my career, so I'll be ready for it and ready to roll.
All right, look forward to watching him. Tyler Van Dyke, Badgers quarterback. We'll have more right after this.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
Second go-round in the off-season strength and conditioning program. That's all in the books now as training camp well underway. The season upon us. We're joined by Badger Football Director of Strength and Conditioning, Brady Collins. Second time around. A lot of new faces, obviously freshmen coming in, transfers, but for the returning players, give us an idea of the difference year one off-season to what you saw this past winter, spring, and summer.
Yeah, obviously, the coaching staff has done a great job of, finding those holes that we needed and, adding more depth and more competition at a lot of places. But really, like you just said, I commend those guys in the locker room, those older guys that, Jake Chaney that saw, 6 new guys come in, Daryl Peterson and Witt that saw, 4 guys come in. and have just embraced them. Those guys have come in the right way, put their heads down, worked to earn the trust and respect of the locker room. But it is night and day, and I don't want to, tote that higher than it is, but it's to be expected, right? The kids have a full year under their belt, understanding the whys of what we do, and I tell them all the time, everybody squats, everybody runs, everybody does strength training. But what makes us unique and what will help us win championships is the way that we do it. More importantly, who we do it with.
I've heard you in other interviews, Brady, where you've talked about it's not necessarily the number. It's not how much you are lifting. It's other things. Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that?
I mean, if I cared about, the strength numbers, then I'd probably go work in a garage gym and train powerlifters, right? These are football players. So everything that we do, one, has to make them better at football. But selfishly, also everything that we do pushes their hearts and their minds way more than anything. And like I always tell them, what tends to happen with, your best players? Well, they are probably your best leaders because they work hard. Therefore, their results kind of show that, right? And again, the NFL doesn't care. They're not calling me and saying, hey, what's he squat? What's he bench? No, they care about when they press play, how well does he play football? But, deeper for us, it's, can you be trusted? Can you be counted on when, things hit in the game? And that's daily consistency. So putting them in those situations to prove it to not only themselves, but to the brothers.
You mentioned some guys, and I do this at risk because we're going to forget guys. We're just cherry picking some names out of the air. A guy like Jake Chaney, who I know Coach Fickle has talked about in a lot of ways, is kind of the heart and soul of what you guys want.
Yeah.
The way he goes about his business every day. Hunter Wohler, and there are others. He's talked a lot, even in Chicago during the media, or in Indianapolis, I should say, during the media days about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing a big grasp of that, much more of it maybe here as you move forward with guys like that?
Absolutely. I mean, those names that you just said for sure, because they really started it the last 2-3 weeks of the season, and then carried into bull prep, carried into the off season. But yeah, I kind of get goosebumps right now thinking about it because that word's so special and it's so important because, and again, having a full year under the belt and all that stuff, last year, the leadership that we truly needed and the team deserved, did we have it? I don't quite think we did. So now we know what we got. We know what we need to do to enhance, to motivate, to get others around them. And yeah, it's those guys you said. There's a bunch of others. Will Pauling and got a couple good quarterbacks and the O linemen, all that. So really excited.
I would think as a strength and conditioning coach, not to mention Coach Fickle and everybody else, when you bring some of these guys in, be they freshmen or transfers. I mean, I just remember looking back at spring ball, some of these linebackers going, oh. Okay,
yes.
So for you, you're thinking, okay, here's what they are now, and here's what they can be moving forward.
Yes, I mean, those two early enrollee cats, Tommy Turbo Heiberger and Landon Gauthier, I mean, they've put on 25 pounds each. Obviously, they're stronger, they're faster, but they're really good at football, too, and they're great young men. But yeah, that room looks a lot different. Jaheim Thomas and Tackett Curtis, those types of guys. I've known Jaheim for quite a while, so I can't wait for all of Badger Nation to see him this season.
Final thought. Working off of that, I mean, you work with these guys so much. They see you as much as anybody, probably more than anybody. You and athletic trainers, obviously. When you roll into camp and you get into game one, is that in some ways like, okay, here's the reward now. Here's what they've done since January, not long after the bowl game, and now they get to turn it loose for you. That's probably an unbelievably exciting time, isn't it?
It is. I think game days are very special for me and my staff, because you're finally seeing all that work, all that dedication, all that grind, all that suffering, all that togetherness come together for them to do what it is that they love to do, and that's play the game. So there is a part, no doubt, I mean, I'm very excited, I'm nervous, and then I'm like worried, and then I'm looking, but like when you just see the joy on those young men's faces, it makes it all worth it.
Ton of energy, ton of respect these guys have for Brady Collins, Badger Football Director of Strength and Conditioning. We'll be right back.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEAbenefits.com.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors building Wisconsin together. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
It's the Badgers and Western Michigan Friday night, Camp Randall Stadium, 8 o'clock kick as the season is finally about to begin. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.